Valuable spiritual guidance from Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, the great master. Today on Spiritual Awakening Radio, my name is James Bean of spiritualawakeningradio.com. First of all, from the Wikipedia entry for Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. Born July 27th, 1858, passed on April 2nd, 1948. Also known as the Great Master. He was an Indian saint or Sant. He was the second spiritual head of the Beas Radhasoami Satsang. From the time of the death of Baba Jaimal Singh in 1903 till his own death in 1948. That's from the Wikipedia entry for Sawan Singh Ji. The Great Master's writings and teachings remain popular and widely read in all the satsangs, sangats, and spiritual lineages of Sant Mat and the Radhasoami faith associated with him, including the satsangs of Baba Somanath, those connected to or related to Ruhani Satsang, Radhaswami Satsang Tarn Tarn, the satsangs associated with Mastana Ji, to name but a few. For the sake of spiritual progress. This is from Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. The Holy Father is within. Never think to go into the wilderness to find it, as in spiritual progress or God. The Holy Father is within. Never think to go into the wilderness to find it. You may attend to your business regularly, repeating the holy names while at work, both morning and evening. Give as much time to the exercises as possible, and thus you will reach the goal one day. Here he is speaking of the spiritual exercises, the meditation practices of Sant Mat. Give as much time to the exercises as possible, and thus you will reach the goal one day. Do not hurry and never get disappointed. Trust on the mercy of the Supreme Father. He will certainly take care of you. You know the Holy Father Radhasoami is within all, and everyone can ask him for help, says Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. On today's podcast, during this Satsang podcast, I'm also using a 2023 edition of the glossary of the Radhasoami faith to define terms as we go along. Radhasoami, Radhasoami. Radhasoami, descriptive name of God, initially used by Swami Shiv Dayal Singh Ji. It literally means the Lord of the Soul. Radhasoami is the Lord of the Soul. By the way, in the ancient book of Enoch, the Supreme Being was called the Lord of Spirits. Somewhat analogous. Radhasoami is considered a very high holy name for the Supreme Being in Sant Mat, standing for the Supreme Being, timeless, beyond time, space, completely transcendent, in the highest of heavens. Radhasoami, the Lord of the Soul. Sawan Singh says, you know the Holy Father Radhasoami is within all, and everyone can ask him for help. That reminds me a little bit of a saying of Jesus from an unknown gospel. Now therefore have faith in the love of my Father. A saying of Jesus from some unknown gospel fragment found in Egypt and published in Texts and Studies, Volume 4, Coptic Apocryphal Gospels. Have faith in the love of my Father. Kirpal Singh, God is love. Each soul is a drop from the divine ocean, and the way back to God is also through love. Rumi once said, love is the energizing elixir of the universe, the cause and effect of all harmonies. And this is from Baba Devi Sahib of Hathras and Moradabad. We should understand that bhakti, or love, is the life or soul of the entire universe. Sawan Singh on how each soul is a drop from the ocean of God, a soul drop from the ocean of love. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, our Father is love, and we are small drops from that ocean of love. This huge machinery of the universe is worked on the eternal principle of love. So try to bring yourself in harmony with this principle of love. The deeper the love of the Master will take root in you, the fainter the love of the earth will remain in you. His love will displace the love of earthly things. Spirit will uproot the flesh. The curtains will rise before you one by one. The dark mysteries of the universe will become revealed to you, and you will find yourself in the loving lap of the Holy Father, one with Him. He, out of His mercy, has bestowed upon you a noble gift that all the treasures of this world stand in no comparison with it. But it will not improve your condition if you will not use it. A hungry man is never satisfied simply by counting the names of various dishes that lie before him. Though the teachings you have got are invaluable, yet they cannot be of any good unless you act up to them and daily engage in the exercises for as long a time as you can spare from your worldly engagements. To sum up, you must be careful about the following. 1. Control of mind. 2. Check on the senses. 3. Resignation to His will. 4. Love for Him. And 5. Punctuality in exercise. Sant meditation practice, those initiated into the practices of Surat Shabad Yoga, Simran, Dhyan, and Bhajan. The repetition of the sacred names, inner light meditation, and inner sound meditation. In other words, Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, now from the realm of Trikuti down to the vegetable kingdom is the sphere of Kal, which are rotating all the souls according to their karma. The ruler of the circle is Kal Brahm, who wishes to confine all these souls to his own sphere, taking care not to let them go out of his own sphere, so that the latter may not become depopulated. Turning once again to the Sant 2023 edition of the glossary, Trikuti, literally 3 mountains, 3 worlds, lower part situated at the top of the astral, and upper part constitutes the first region of the causal plane. The entry for Kal Niranjan in the Sant glossary. Kal Niranjan, time personified, the negative power. One of the 16 sons of Sat Purush, mentioned in the Anurag Sagar, Kabir's Ocean of Love. Ruler and creator of the lower 3 worlds, Pind, And, and Brahmanand. Kal is also known in some traditions as the Demiurge, a kind of false god, false ruler, lower god. Universal mind. Essentially the cosmic ego of the universe. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, on the spheres of Kal, the Demiurge, ruler of the lower planes of time, Samsara or impermanence and illusion, and the means of salvation, the means of the liberation of the soul through the word, also known as the Logos, the Shabda, the sound current. Sawan Singh Ji, when Sat Purush, from whom all these souls had emanated, found them in trouble, then he sent his saints from Sachkhand to initiate these souls in the path. Saints are always present in this world. Their mission is to take the soul from the sphere of Kal to Sachkhand. They do not meddle with the religions of the world. Their teaching is the same for all, to make the soul attend to the holy sound. As the current of sound comes directly from the Supreme Being, therefore sound is the direct route to Sachkhand. As by degrees the mind and the soul become enamored of the sound, the latter will burn out all our impurities and make them pure. When pure, they will be attracted by the sound and will begin to ascend inwards. At last, when both reach Trikuti, then the mind will become one with Brahm. It was generated from this region and will merge into it. Then the soul, having separated from the mind, will go to the region of Daswandwar, Par-Brahm, and find itself free from all diseases as well as from the sphere of Kal. Then Satguru will by degrees take it to Sachkhand. Therefore, the only way to go out of this world and leave the sphere of Kal is by listening to the holy sound and having love for the Satguru. Back to the Sant Mat glossary of terms. I've said in the past many times I could do a whole talk just based on the glossary, these terms, just talking about these terms. If you learn these terms of the masters, you'll understand the teachings quite well, just with a glossary or dictionary in your hand. Sat Purush literally means true being, Supreme Being, presides over Sachkhand, Satlok, also called Akal Purush, timeless being. Satguru, the master, literally true guru, saint who, having access to Sachkhand, redeems lost souls. Saints commissioned by their master or God Almighty to guide souls back to their true home, Sachkhand. Speaking of the term Sachkhand, the entry for Sachkhand in the Sant Mat glossary, literally, the true and imperishable region, the spiritual region above Banwar Gufa and below Alak Lok, home of the saints, also called Sat Lok, the timeless realm. So Sachkhand is a high heaven, a heavenly realm, according to the teachings of the Sants. Kind of analogous to the Sufi term Hak or Hik. Why does Sant Mat follow vegetarian ethics? The fleshless diet of those whose goal is God consciousness. To in spirit rise above the flesh, to rise above body consciousness, and make heavenly ascents upwards by way of the third eye center. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, why is animal food forbidden and why we are told to subsist on a vegetable diet? The answer is that sin, giving pain to the soul and mind, depends upon the quantity of active tattvas or elements. The vegetables and fruits are recommended because they do not possess mind or possess it in a dormant state, incapable of feeling pain and complaining. Destroying of insects is a greater sin than destroying vegetables. Bird killing is worse than insect killing. And animal killing is worse than bird killing, while man killing is the worst of all. There is karma, even in vegetable eating, but not so heavy as in animal food. The holy sound alone is potent enough to wash away karma of all kinds. The lighter the karma, the greater is the attraction of the soul towards the sound, says Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. Also from Sawan Singh, I must point out that animal food, even if a single particle is eaten, is detrimental to spiritual progress, says Hazur Baba Sawan Singh on the need to follow a plant-based diet. Once again from the 2023 edition of the Sant Glossary of Terms, Nam, the sound current, synonymous with Shabad, Dun, Logos, etc. Literally means name. Also the mantra also represents the mantra, the Guru mantra, the words given to initiates during their initiation into Sant meditation, also known as Nam Dan. The entry for Nam Dan in the glossary. Initiation into Surat Shabad Yoga by a living master, connecting the soul with the inner sound current, the power of Nam or Shabad. Surat Shabad Yoga, the means of reconnecting with God, literally yoking the soul or the soul's hearing faculty, or surat, to the sound current, Shabad. This form of meditation also provides the power of practical discernment, enabling the attention to rise higher by moving on through the nirats, absorption in the inner light. Nirat is a term for inner seeing, transcendental seeing, even as surat, the attention faculty of the soul, refers to the soul's spiritual sense of hearing, transcendental hearing, to be able to meditate upon the sound during meditation. And that's also called bhajan. Bhajan, the devotional practice of listening to the inner sound current during meditation. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, the practice of the sound current is the primary duty of man, is the primary duty of humanity, and all else is secondary and a means to that end. For this current is the one antidote for karma. As long as the soul is in the mind zone, it is a prisoner. It is engulfed by the mind and is subject to it and has to obey the dictates of the mind. The mind and the soul combined in their turn are locked up in forms, causal, astral, and physical successively. As long as it's in the forms, the actions and reactions against other forms continue to impress the mind, and so the karmic skein gets naughty. This is the karmic debt, and it has piled up and multiplied as the soul descended into the mind zones. When it will travel backward from the physical to the astral and the causal, the knots in the karmic skein would straighten out. For as long as the attention is in the current, its union with the form is loose and is free from the impressions, or samskaras, and the karma. The soul is pure and needs no cleaning. The dirt is in the mind. And as long as the mind does not go within and catch the current, the soul cannot go within. Hence the time spent in the sound current is spent usefully. For during that time, the problem of life is being solved. No talk or theory is a substitute for that. It is a practical separation of form, mind, and soul from the combination of the three. It is an uphill task. The sound current is at the bottom of all faiths, is at the bottom of all the faiths. Muhammad called it kalma, and Christ calls it word. Nanak calls it Shabad, and the Vedas call it nad or nada, sound. They all mean the same. The difference is in the language only, and in the extent to which the lift was made within, or, in other words, the extent up to which the soul followed the current on the uphill journey. The majority stopped at the first stage, and the remainder at the second. Only a few have traced it to Sachkhand, and beyond to the nameless or Anami, or, in other words, the Radhasoami. The beauty lies in the actual rise and not in the talk of it. An illiterate person who catches the current and rises some distance on it is nearer the goal than a philosopher who expounds theories ceaselessly. The truth, as it is, lies within. The current is the only truth, for it is unalloyed. The illiterate seeks it, and the learned gropes in the dark. Experience is the best teacher. Coming up next, The Hem of the Pearl commentary by Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. In the ancient Gnostic parable known as the Hem of the Pearl, the hem of the soul, which is a hem embedded in the Acts of Thomas in India, an apocryphal writing. In that document, the newly awakened soul says, "I remembered that I was a son of royal parents, and my noble birth asserted itself. I remembered the pearl for which I had been sent to Egypt, and I began to charm him, the terrible loud-breathing serpent. I hushed him to sleep and lulled him into slumber. For my father's name I named over him. I repeated my father's name over him, causing the snake to fall asleep. And the awakened soul in the hem of the pearl says, and I snatched away the pearl and turned to go back to my father's house." The Hem of the Pearl is an amazing Gnostic text. It's online at gnosis.org. You can read 2 different translations of it for free online. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, on our spiritual mission during this life to find the pearl of the soul and the soul's natural habitat known as Sachkhand, the realm of the soul, and ascend back to that spiritual realm again through the hem of the pearl, the audible life stream, the holy stream of sound, also called the sound current, the Shabad, the true name or Nam of God. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. Gurumukh, the true and faithful disciple of the Master. Gurumukh, he who follows the word. Gurumukh is outside the range of transmigration. by following the Word. Guru Mat, the Guru's wisdom, the Word. Sahaj state, the natural state of soul in Sachkhand, is called the Sahaj state. It is a state of absolute peace and knowledge. By following the Word, Sachkhand is reached. Basket. Our body is a basket. Snake mind. Mind is the snake in our body which bites us always. Under its influence, we do actions, and our actions are the cause of our endless struggle here, causing births and deaths. This snake, or mind, is charmed when it catches the Word. It is attracted by the sweet sound of the Word, hearing which it is rendered motionless, and the soul is released from its bondage. Guru Nanak said, there is no other way to conquer the mind except by the practice of the sound current. And so long as the mind is not conquered, there is no getting in, no going within. It is proverbial to speak of a snake guarding a hidden treasure in the earth. It is proverbial to speak of a snake guarding a hidden treasure in the earth. The treasure cannot be reached until the snake has been dealt with. Sachkhand is the treasure, and Kal and its agent, mind, are the snakes guarding this treasure. Sachkhand can be reached only when the mind snake has been charmed. It is charmed when it hears the sound current. Hazur Baba Sawan Singh, salvation in life. The saints put their faith in salvation acquired while alive, while we are alive, and do not trust in a salvation which is to come after death. He who is uneducated while alive will not become a literary genius after death. Saints say salvation can be attained while living. Only the Word is to be caught. The Word cannot be caught as long as the mind interferes. The mind serves as a wall between us and salvation or liberation. The whole world, man, animal, bird, or insect, dances to the tune of the mind. Every creature is being tossed up and down by it. The only place where the mind cannot dance is when it is brought before the current. Only then it becomes helpless. It cannot be controlled by the study of scriptures nor by the performance of austerities. Neither the soldier nor the warrior, nor the conqueror, nor the moralist has succeeded against it. He who has succeeded against it did so by catching the sound current. The goal is to catch and rise up on the sound current to our eternal home. The saints have only one message to give, and that they give in the manner that suits the times. Their message is, Soul, thou hast forgotten thy source. That source is Sachkhand, and the sound current within you is the way to it, and we guide you to that. Valuable spiritual guidance from the great master, Hazur Baba Sawan Singh. Today on this Sant Satsang podcast edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio.